What's going on, everybody? Matt Mraymer here of Cruising with Matt, and before I jump too far into it, I just want to say I hope everyone's staying safe, staying healthy. This coronavirus has been a crazy time for everybody involved with the cruising industry and not involved with the cruising industry, and I just hope that everybody's staying home, staying safe, and staying healthy. Now today, Genting Cruise Lines, an Asian-based cruise line, announced some new guidelines and some new protocols for the way that they're going to proceed with their fleet operations after the coronavirus has passed. Now, there's a lot of speculation that this guideline could sort of be the start of something new for the cruise industry. And what I mean by that is, once this coronavirus passes, there's going to be a lot of cruise lines taking into account new restrictions and things that they've had to do to keep people safe during the coronavirus. So, there's a lot of speculation that after the coronavirus passes, a lot of cruise lines are going to look back and see different things that they can change throughout their operations to make cruising safer and more palatable for people who are coming off of a time when the cruising industry has really taken a publicity hit and a PR hit. So Genting Cruise Lines unveiled some new restrictions today, and I'm going to share those with you, and we can kind of talk about what this might mean for the future of cruising. So the first thing is embarkation day. Now anybody who is cruising throughout any of this pandemic, or even at the beginning stages of it when they were still kind of determining how this was going to proceed, you know about the health screenings. So on embarkation day, most cruise lines have already implemented a policy of additional health screening before you can get on the ship. For most people, it's just a simple temperature check, but if you display any symptoms or if you fill out the medical questionnaire and you say that you've been sick or been exposed to anything in the last 14 days, you will be taken in for a secondary health evaluation. Now this is really just a good thing for everybody. It's keeping everyone on board safe and healthy and saying, you know, if you're not healthy and you're not in condition to travel, that you can't get on the ship. Now the second part of the embarkation policy that Genting put in today is the part that's going to have a lot of people up in storm. And that is that 70 and above travelers, which, as you know, there are a lot of elderly folks who enjoy cruising, people who are above 70 cruise regularly, they're going to need a doctor's note in order to travel on a Genting cruise. So basically what that means is, without getting prior approval from your physician or your family doctor, you're not going to be able to travel because the cruise line basically wants to know, is that person fit to travel? And are they in good enough condition? Are they healthy enough? Are they immunosuppressed? The things that the cruise line wants to know to make sure that that person is A, going to stay healthy themselves, but B, not affect other people and make them sick while they're on board. So a couple different changes to the embarkation day process. Definitely very interesting to see them implementing the 70+ rule. We'll see if any major cruise lines adapt that. It's hard to believe that that'll be something that will become mainstream. But again, you just never know how the industry is going to evolve throughout these tough times. Now secondly, Genting announced some new sanitation protocols. Different things that they're going to do to make sure that their ships are staying clean, both before and after cruises, but also, more importantly, throughout your cruise. So the first thing is that they're going to be cleaning the high traffic areas once every hour. So that means handrails, stairs, things of that nature that are going to be heavy traffic and highly touched areas are going to be cleaned every hour. And elevators are going to be cleaned once every 2 hours. So the areas that are going to be closed spaces and have a lot of people traveling frequently, they're going to be cleaned much more frequently than they were before this outbreak became a problem. Now secondly, the restaurants are going to be cleaned 3 times a day. So that means breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'm assuming. The main dining room, the galley, the tables, everything's going to be cleaned and sanitized fully. Make sure that everything's ready for dinner service, lunch service, and then the repeat for the next day. Now the last thing cleaning-wise that I really like to see is that Genting says they're going to be cleaning cabins fully twice a day, which means not just linens, not just towels and sheets being flipped and your bed being turned down, but also all the flat surfaces and things in your cabin are going to be sanitized and wiped twice a day, in addition to your bathroom being cleaned twice a day. So really your cabin environment is going to be one of the cleanest and safest places for you on board, and that's a really important thing as you're going to be spending, somewhere between 6 and 10 hours on there, depending how much you like to sleep on your cruise. And now making our way to the dining. As I already mentioned, they're going to be cleaning the restaurants, the tables, the galleys 3 times every day. But the next thing, and a lot of people aren't going to be too crazy about this, is that they're going to eliminate the self-service buffet. Now, anybody who's cruised before knows that the buffet is one of people's favorite places to go. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, whenever you need a quick bite or a full meal at your leisure, it's really nice to have access to the buffet. And so Genting will still be having access to a buffet, but instead of being able to load your plate up yourself and put as much as you want, it's going to be crew serving you the food. Now they're going to be wearing face masks, very similar to the ones that you've seen a lot of people wearing during this outbreak, and gloves at all times. So there's a lot of positives there. It means that the buffet is going to be a cleaner, safer place for people to eat, but I can already hear the articles about people saying they're upset. They don't want anyone else serving their food. They like going to the buffet and piling up the plate with whatever they like. So you can kind of see both sides of it. Now the last part that's kind of interesting to me is that Genting announced that crowds will be limited to half capacity in all of their onboard venues, such as the theaters, lounges, bars. And this makes it really interesting to try to decide how do they want to proceed with that. Now does that mean Genting is only going to fill their ships to 50% capacity moving forward? And not fill all of the rooms? I doubt that that's going to be possible from a financial standpoint. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they decide to control this. They're also going to have their tour buses for most of their sponsored excursions only half full. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out with vendors in port. They're going to obviously want to fit as many butts in the seats as they can. If you've ever been on one of these tour buses, you know how it goes. They pack you in there and try to get as many people in one trip as they can. So it's going to be very interesting to see, both from a cruise perspective and from an excursion perspective, how Genting plans to deal with that. If you're only going to let people fill up to 50% in the theater or at one of the restaurants, it's hard to imagine that you could have the ship totally full of people. Anybody who's been on a cruise knows that, especially in high traffic times, sometimes it's hard to find a seat in some of those places. So if you're going to have shows and things going on in the theater, it's very hard for me to believe that with the full ship, they can expect to keep that to half capacity and not have people really going crazy and being upset about things that they're missing out on their cruise, and understandably so. So it's going to be very interesting to see what this means for the cruise industry. Obviously, Genting is an Asian-based line, so this doesn't have any direct impact on any of the major cruise lines here in the United States, or Royal Caribbean, for example, Carnival, Norwegian. They haven't announced any changes to their protocols yet, but certainly there will be some changes. Carnival has already announced today that some of their ships in May and June are only going to be sailing at half capacity, if they're able to sail at all. And that would be interesting to see what that means. As I was mentioning before, there's perhaps a thought that Genting might do that in the future in terms of limiting capacity. So we'll see what it means. And will Carnival proceed with that operations plan? Will some of the other cruise lines adapt it? It's really just very uncertain times in the cruise industry. Nobody really knows what to expect moving forward, and as more time progresses and we learn more and more about this virus and what it means for the future, we'll have a much better idea of what it means. But definitely good to see the cruise industry starting to take those precautionary measures and do some of those things on the front end, as Genting did today. Now, if you're interested in reading the full article about all of the changes in full detail, Cruise Critic is where I got most of my information. There was a great article by Dory Saltzman that she posted today outlining some of those changes in detail, and I'll put that in the description link below. Hopefully we'll be back to cruising in no time, and I hope you're staying safe at home with your family. Everybody out there, stay safe, stay home, and stay healthy. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this about cruise information. And also, I'll have several highlight videos from some of my most recent cruises posting in the next couple weeks. That'll be very fun and very informative. So don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day, everybody.